All right, there we go. There we go. That's correct now. We'll give a few seconds for people to get back in here. Welcome back. I got the dates all right this time. Little goof on there. Monday morning goof. It happens. Mm. Oh, snap. Man, I hope y'all are having a happy Monday. Ellie Garks, thanks for following. Appreciate that. Oh, thanks, admin. Admin. Damn, the admin's got a lot of peoples. Oh man, all right. I think it's time to jump into price action. I'm getting antsy. I want to talk about the prices. Let's turn that off. I don't even know. I tried to actually listen to that. Can y'all hear the music when I play it in the background, like earlier at the start, or no? Type in the troll box, please. So I listened to it on a stream the other day. I was just kind of seeing how the audio and stuff sound, and I didn't hear the music, so it's kind of like, what? Anyway, happy Monday. What's going on? It's Z Rex. It's No Noise Live. We're back. It's Monday, April 4th, 2023. It's about 10:30 Central Standard Time. Hope y'all had a good weekend, all that good stuff. Little April Fool's jokes, maybe you played a couple. No, you can't hear it? Okay, yeah, so it wasn't just me. All right, I'm going to have to adjust something on there or just say whatever to the audio. I got to use OBS again, too. That's what I would use before for YouTube and stuff. But TradingView is pretty simple. Well, thanks for the feedback. Hey, Shamshir. Shamshir. All right. So let's see what we got over here. Do we got some new price action? Kind of. We kind of do. And it's not very sexy, to be honest. This kind of sucks. Oh, I hate saying to be honest. Because it's like, well, wait, were you lying the whole time? Anyway, before I go off on a tangent, we got this stupid double doji. We really wanted to see at least like a upper 28,000 kind of body close on this. Sort of like how futures did. We didn't get that on spot. More indecision up here. That kind of sucks. It's really solidifying that this upper 20s is major, mega, super resistance. Now we still are above, the 200, the 55, all the moving averages that matter, and we still are well above the 21. So it's not terrible. It just kind of sucks that they didn't get any follow through. I really thought they would be able to get some Momo going. And so if we zoom in a little bit, there is one thing that does kind of suck on Bitcoin's price action, and that is this kind of pattern right here. So this is looking a little bit like distribution now, only because of the last kind of over the weekend, we didn't get any pumps to even make a higher high here above like 28.8. You can see there's the struggle is real at 28.8. And we're starting to print another one of these magenta candles, which just means, be cautious of Momo waning at these levels. And in this case, it would be on the bullish side. So bullish Momo waning. And, below that 28.8 is, man, we're right in between it, but it just kind of sucks. You'd think that they'd have been able to make a higher high, at least on one of these attempts here. You got like 1, 2, pretty much a few attempts to do that, and we didn't get any of those. So that's a little bit concerning for the bulls. And Ethereum is kind of showing the same thing here. Really struggling to get comfortably above the 1820s. And, now we're back below the 21. Kind of just lots of indecision. Doji, hammer, doji, shooting star. Just really lots of confusion. If we look at DMI, you can see that here as well, that above 26 or around 26, I consider the power zone, and momentum is firmly on the side of whoever's up there. But look, we got both of them just sitting right there on 26. So, it's not my favorite setup. I'm not bearish yet, but I'm definitely, last week I was more fully in bull mode, and now I'm kind of getting into cautiously bullish, because this is just what are bulls supposed to do? They're supposed to go up and make price go up, and we're not doing that right now. We actually have a little trend line on RSI too here. Well, we kind of just, all this is bearish divergence between those two. We're kind of making slightly sloped up momentum here, especially on the daily, but we're not getting any of that on the monthly. So if the bear, or on the day, sorry, on the 458. So if the bears were going to take it over here, my bad, it's a little bit of a Monday blues there. So if the bears are going to take it, this is an attempt for them to definitely take it, just having the DMI momentum up here, and also RSI, sub 50. So if they were going to act, it probably would be off of this right here. But macro is still perfectly intact and fine. And that's just above the same level we've been talking about, right? Short term, about 27,000. Longer term, around 24,000 handle. So as long as we're above that, we're building structure. Macro looks pretty good. Just kind of like this sideways action of many, many days now. I mean, we've been up here for, a couple weeks at this point with no follow through. That kind of ain't the sexiest price action. We are getting this curl up now on the 200 daily, so that looks pretty nice. We do have upward slopes, although this one's very slightly. It's only a few ticks, but we do have upward sloping Momo now on all the EMAs. That is nothing to ignore. And the last time we've had that, man, it's been a hot minute. On spot price, or on futures, you can't even see that. We have to go to like spot price for Ethereum. I mean, dude, hell, actually, the last time that we've probably had that was way back in the first rally. Yeah, back over here when all this started flipping back in the summer of 2020. So it's been quite a while. It's been almost 3 years since we've seen this same type of structure. So that's very sexy. We just need to get a little bit of follow through. Just make a little bit of higher high here. That would make me feel a lot more better than this kind of just lollygagging at the moment. And everything's going to be pretty much the same from last video. We're right up against the trend lines. We're right up against structure, or right above it. This is kind of flagging out right here. I will say this does look pretty sexy. And what I'm kind of seeing as that flag is this right here. So that looks pretty decent. I do like that. And if we did a measured move on that, would that be new highs? Yes, it would be. All right. So, and that would be probably about $95 and breaking this trend line. That would give this really decent momentum to actually fulfill that flag measured move, which would put us at, just shy of 110. That would look really super sexy for Litecoin. If that happened, I would start to turn into uber bullish on cryptos. Kind of really struggling right here at the red box of this range that we were in for a long time earlier in the year. Kind of just hovering right below it. Lots of pressure. I mean, look at this. The 200s coming down. The shorter term 21, 55, and the mama are all right here within 20 and $22. So it's like a 10% range. And this is getting super squeezed here. No momentum really on the oscillators. Very, very neutral all the way across the board. So really above 1950, it's okay. And really needs above 2150 to get the Momo back for the bulls. XRP kind of struggling after it hit this little target up here at 56 cents. Kind of just lollygagging. Still making higher highs. It still looks perfectly fine above about 48 cents. Don't really have any issues with it above 48 cents. XLM holding up pretty well too, above 10 cents. This looks fine. It's a little bit vertical for sure. So probably get a little more consolidation on this as it tests this for the first time in a while, test all this price action from last summer in the fall. So pretty obvious point of resistance, all of this area in the low teens and 12, 14 area. Tron, lost its Momo from trying to get it on Friday, kind of just chilling. Real quiet price action over the weekend, which is pretty standard, but just given where we're at with these some of these prices, it's like, man, we are just going super sideways, just being ever so quiet. Man, this is a calm before the storm. And the storm could be good. I don't want to say that like a negative connotation, like storm means to the downside, but I really do. And I mentioned this the last week and a half, that I really think that the move coming out of this consolidation is going to be gargantuan. And then right now we have to default a little bit to the upside, but just ever so slightly. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very large move out of some of these consolidations. ADA getting across major support in the mid 30s. This looks perfectly fine above about 35. Got no issues with this at all as long as it's riding this trend. Obviously, major support right here in the low 40s. So getting above 42, of course, we got to have meme numbers. Getting above 42 cents, that opens up the doors to about 46 to 55-ish. So pretty decent structure there. Link is just being more boring as hell. Swear for the last 2 weeks, it's just been like right in the middle of this dumb range that it's been in for almost a year. So meh. It does have a decent setup with all the EMAs pointing mostly upwards, except a flat 200 daily. But with all this structure right here, there is major support at about 690. Of course, there is another meme number. Really needs to clear that 775 to $8. And like we talked about last week, if we get above there, we probably do get that little spike that it likes to do to about 942. Roughly, of course. That's 42. What else would it be? EOS looking a little bit better above structure from the January, February. PA, aka price action, pretty nice. This looks pretty good above 115 still. Not too shabby on EOS. Bitcoin Cash, what are you doing? Still in the range. It is kind of solidifying the bottom end of the range. One more again. So we got 120. Looks like this does want to test at least like low 130s or 130 or so. Looks like we got mega resistance here at like 127. So above 127, we probably do get up to that mid 130s, and then we'll have to reassess. BSV, oh, look, it's sideways again. Oh, that's cool. Wow. Still getting worked by the 21. This one looks bearish. It's not doing what all the other cryptos are doing. It looks pretty shitty. It has not been able to get any strength or momentum. Counter trend rally, nothing. It's just getting worked by the 21 weekly and the 21 daily. And that's it. There's just not much to say about it. I'm still holding this one, though, unless it breaks 33 bucks or so. It's because, the risk here is just too good. Too good. Single-digit risk for probably, $10 move. I mean, it's at least 2 to 3 to 1 on that. All right. XMR, look at this. Very nice, XMR. Coming to break back up above that 158 area. Kind of lollygagged around it for a little bit. And as we mentioned on this candle here, a lot of times if we can get right back above it fairly quickly, this price action usually runs above that in like kind of the opposite direction. This is implying kind of a little bit bearish and buyer shut off. But right now, this is actually playing out to kind of that idea. When we get back above like 162, this thing probably does run. Let's pull some fibs. Probably does run to the ones like low, mid 170s. That will be the next really hardcore resistance point, and we'll have to see what price does from there. But man, look at this, real tight oscillators. And this is kind of across the board. That's why I keep mentioning there's going to be a really big move out of this consolidation. Zcash, what are you doing, Zcash? Just kind of funky pattern down here on the lows. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah, just not really doing shit. This is setting up for the 5th week of between 34 and 37. So talk about, could it be any more tight on price? Not really. Not for crypto land. It is making higher highs and higher lows technically on the daily, but it really needs to get and clear this $39 level. Then we can probably see it go to mid 40s. Let's see here. Dash, what are you doing? Between the 200 and short-term moving averages, one of my least favorite places. What's going on? Ich bin crawl. Wait for some ISM PMI data. Yeah. XRP. Did we do XRP yet? Yeah, we did XRP. You just missed it. But XRP, quick wrap up. It's easy peasy on XRP. Rallied up to this horizontal in the mid 50-cent range, kind of just consolidating, but still looks really, really good above 48 cents. I'd only start to kind of question the bulls' strength in Momo if price could get back below 48 cents, and I'd start to be like, that's not too great. But above 48, it still looks pretty good. All right, back over here. Where did we leave off at? Zcash, Dash, that's where it was. Dash just chilling between the 200 and the other MAs. Technically speaking, it does have a really good support level at this trend line cross, which also coincides with the top and all this consolidation from last year. So this actually does look fairly decent above like $50. We'll just make it a nice whole number, easy to remember. Above $50, this looks pretty good. Can't hate it till it gets below that. Doji Poo. Well, Doji Poo did really nice on Saturday on April Fool's Day. Looks like it was a April Fool's Day joke pump because it pretty much gave all of it up immediately. We're already testing over here. So now, though, the best case scenario for this is just the bulls getting the Momo, retesting, little liquidation break to the previous resistance level at about, upper sevens before continuation. It very well could be. And I will say one thing that's very notable about this price action is look at this volume. This volume is no joke. It's the most volume that we've had since early in the year, kind of at the top here. And also before this mode started, before price started taking off. And kind of where I was talking about where it breaks out and then retests the tops of the range like it did here before continuation. That's possibly what we're seeing here. And just noteworthy. I mean, even when you zoom out here, it's very noteworthy that these two volume candles are much higher. I guess you could say it's even with this one, but prior to that one, it's higher and notable all the way back to October in this mega uber super pump. So that's very noteworthy. There might be some resolution on this consolidation on Dogecoin this week. This looks pretty good, and I am definitely bullish bias on Dogecoin above 7.5 cents. I like Dogecoin a lot, and it's one of my larger holdings right now. Let's see here. STX kind of being a bitch, breaking the trend line. I mean, it's been pretty much 90-ish cents for a week now. It is still holding structure, so you can't get too bearish, even though it's starting to look a little bit nasty. All the MoMo. Oh, I don't even have horizontals on here yet. Hold up. Let's put those on real quick. Yeah, no good momentum. Really kind of neutral here. But looks still decent above 80 cents. As long as it's holding above 80 cents, not too concerned about this one for stacks. True Coin. Man, True Coin, kind of like stacks, pumped hard. Just kind of barely dribbling out here. This looks this will be very bearish below like 7, or not, I'm sorry, not very bearish, but it will get bearish below like 7.2 pennies. Then maybe we get to like 6, and then that's the line in the sand to hold higher low structure and trend structure, which is just higher highs, higher lows. So I'm not just basing that off this little cluster right here. Hexingtons, what are y'all doing? Oof, just barely chilling, going sideways, kind of a sloppy. I know it's not really Head and Shoulders esque, but I mean it is Head and Shoulders esque, but it doesn't look like a good solid one. And to be fair, Hex just doesn't. It has funky candles. It's not super liquid, so each one of these candles is like 20 percent pretty much from the tail to the wick. So still looks okay above 7.2 cents. Below that, I'd be looking for probably a retest of 5 somewhere, 5.5, and then have to reassess. If we go to the weekly, yeah, the weekly still looks okay. Also, given that mid-7 support structure verification there. Looks like my chart first day on TradingView on Persifying. Looks like my chart on the first day of TradingView. Oh, you talking some smack? Okay. All right, buddy. That's fine. Whatever. My chart does not look like this. You should see my first chart on TradingView. It has like 18 indicators. I pretty much maxed it out, and it looks really silly. But I see you don't even have a pro or nothing, so you couldn't even put all these indicators on your chart at this point. So that's funny. What do I think about Euro and USD? 50 RSIs. You need like 100 RSIs to really be good at trading. What do you think about the Euro USD? We're actually about to get to that. EO Dusty. So you can see it. We just go down this list every day. It's got, some top cryptos and then all the regular market stuff. Euro is down over here a little bit after oil. So we will be getting there momentarily. VeChain, Jesus, sideways is F. Looks fine above 2.2 though. Shit hasn't changed on that. I mean, literally a lot of these are the exact same from the last 5-6 videos at this point. Very barely hanging on. Very barely hanging on. That makes sense. Still here, right in the middle, right above the trend line. It's tough, man. This is a tough spot. Still looks okay, though, above 1050. Can't hate it above 1050. Oh, yeah. You don't know why it's the biggest scam? Well, I would definitely disagree with that. I do agree that you can get chart clutter. That's true. That's for sure a thing. But having the alerts, though, is very, very helpful. And they don't give you very many alerts when you don't do a paid subscription. So I think that's like the main thing. And also, you can't put indicators on top of indicators, which I think is very helpful sometimes. Which is like what I have on my RSI down here. It's just a mama on the RSI. It's very helpful. But, hey, to each his own. Everybody looks at markets and trades different. There's not one way to skin the cat in this game. There's about 1,000. So kind of do whatever works for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Tron. Nice pump here. This is actually pretty badass. I like this for bulls. Very nice. Getting back above that 220 area. Let's see. Simple and works pretty well. Oh, yeah, you're using, what is that? Some reg candles. Okay. Yeah. I don't like those modified candles like that when you use linear candles or you're talking about like Renko candles and stuff or Hikinashi candles. They're kind of like falsely representing price action and you can't read candlestick patterns off of those most of the time. So that sucks. That's why I don't like them because Japanese candlestick reading is very tried and true and works super well. And with those, I used to think Hikinashi was badass too, and I had that. That was actually on my charts from back in the day, but I found that they kind of don't give you the right price structure, and that's not the right word, not price structure, but you can't do proper candle analysis with stuff like that. But hey, man, whatever. If it works for you, shit, whatever's, man. Do your thing. If you make money that way, more power to you, sir. I've never seen you in here before either, Persa. persifying. So welcome, even if you're, you know, trying to say your way is better. That's fine. That's fine. That's what makes the market. You know what I'm saying? ES. Let's go to the ES traditional markets. Pumping. We got the three soldiers over here. Looks pretty actually damn good. We had the previous 40-80 resistance. Now we're flipped over to that's support now. Former resistance becomes support. And so as long as we're above 40-80, man, you got to give bulls some credit here. The one thing they don't have is they don't have any momentum built up too good on on DMI. And you can see we're not quite in the power zone. We're just right up underneath it. So kind of interesting spot to stall out and not even get follow through today too. So it's kind of interesting. And NASDAQ is selling off, rallied right up. I mean, look at this, right to the horizontal. I mean, just that 13.3 level to the money, and we started getting a little pushback, which is expected, but this still looks perfectly fine above about 13 flat. I don't really have any issues with it on the bull side. YM is trying to break out into this next little horizontal zone, 33.5 and 34.3. Can we get comfy above here? So far, so good. And as long as we're holding above about 33, 4, it looks fine to me. Can't be mad about that price action. Do like those weekly candles too last time. Let's see here. RUT's the only one that doesn't look super good. It's just getting beat up. It's below all these major moving averages in this trend line. So pretty heavy below 1820s. Really need to get above that. And I'd like to see Russell actually follow through with some of the other majors because it's the one that's heavy into the regional banking sector. They have a lot of exposure to that. I believe it's in the teens, like 15-ish% or so. And so that's pretty big. And, if we can't get bullish on this, then that kind of shows that maybe there's some underlying issues still present in the regional banking area. Just a little thing to kind of look out for. Oh, we can add the candles. He wants to add the candles. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, see, look how much different that looks. Like on the bottom. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. I think it falsely represents price action. But hey, dude, like I said, if that works for you and you make money off that, hey, man, more power to you, sir. DAX looks really good above 15.6, man. Obviously, there's that horizontal resistance that we came to on Friday, backing off just a tad. But you cannot get pissed about the bulls here as long as they're above this 15.6. We are above all this consolidation that we've been doing for quite a while. So as long as it's above there, I likes it. Nice weekly too. Obviously, there's mega resistance over here from this little rounded top back over last 2021. But nice on the intermediate structure. Shorter term looks pretty good. Let's go to Shanghai. Oh, look at that. Going to the top of range. Very nice. Still in the range, though, so it's just in range mode until it breaks out of that. VIX. Look, VIX is popping today after that little mention of the interesting, very incremental higher lows we have on the bottom here. Very interesting. Is this setting up for another pop? Oh, man, I don't know. It's a little sus. VVIX kind of coming into this little cluster too. Is it just testing the consolidation zone here? I don't know, man. Pretty interesting. This one's the more interesting one to me. I don't know. We get back above 22 again here in like this week or next week. I'd be looking for a pretty gnarly spike on this guy. Oil. Look what oil did. Holy moly. We were talking about last week this being a false breakdown. We got back into the box. And we got exactly that from false break. And don't forget this pattern setup. This happens all the time with false breakouts or breakdowns. When you get those, you almost always get fast price action to the other side of range. And it's weird. It doesn't matter if it's oil or crypto or some random stock. It's just kind of some thing that happens in price. and the nature of all of that. But we got back in here, really strong close Friday, and literally in one day, we already just went to the other side of range. So pretty interesting there. False breakdown indeed. And now we've got major support in the mid 70s, and resistance is still that 82 handle. We get above 82, y'all. I would be talk about messing up inflation numbers. The way they calculate all that crap, we get above 82 and start pumping. Oh man, inflation. You think it's been bad so far? It could start getting way more worser. That's some good Texas English right there. Linear regression candles are really good. You should check them out soon. Yeah, I might check them out. Sometimes, I don't want to add another thing onto my chart like you alluded to earlier about putting too many things on your chart. I kind of found something that works for me. So it's like I've learned I don't want to try to do too many damn things, because then my chart will look like what you were mentioning your first trading chart looked like. How long have you been trading there, Persifying? Just out of curiosity. Let's see here. So, interesting. Nice. Rallied right up to the major resistance, almost to 82 even. Getting a little pushback. We'll see. We do have this big gap here, too. So, we'll see how that plays out this week. See if this week can close above like $78. That would be very strong. Nat gas falling back below 220. It just can't get no love, man. No one likes nat gas. Who cares? It's just selling off and bleeding out for the rest of eternity. It just will never go up anymore. It's literally been bleeding out pretty much you can really see it on the weekly, pretty much since December, and really a little before that, actually since the early part of the fall. It's just been going down and down and down and a little bit more down. Barely hanging on. 220 is kind of that line in the sand, and it's barely chilling right there. So, oh man, watch out if you're bullish nat gas. Really need to get above that. All right, ZB bond futures are continuing to build this flag. That is interesting. Getting back above 133 probably pumps us up to the bottom of this little consolidation, kind of inverted head and shoulders looking thing. And that's probably about a 138 tag, something like that, or target, I should say, to not be so confusing maybe. So that's good. Yeah, I figured it wasn't a whole long time yet, and that you would be younger. That makes sense. Well, that's cool, man. Like I said, if you're making money though using that shit, dude, whatever, do it, man. Get it in. That's awesome. I like it. So, like I said, the mark, there is so many ways to skin the cat, and everyone's just a little bit different in how they view markets and stuff. So, if that's how that works for you, that's great, man. Just keep it up. Keep the consistency up. That's the hardest part in trading is, keeping consistent and not breaking away from rules and stuff you have and letting emotions tilt you sometimes because you didn't have a good plan in place. Plan your trade the plan. Very important. Anyway, getting above the 133, that opens up to about 137 and change. And I mean, this is real tight flag range here. And below 129, then I'd start to get a little bit more bearish on this. Same for here. We're getting right above it, right on all the moving averages. I mean, so this is a point where bulls can really start to attempt to take the reign and looking pretty decent. The bond market is anticipating that the Fed is going to be chilling out on its rate hikes this year. We'll see if it's correct. The bond market usually knows what's up. TMF is still filling out this descending triangle here. We got all the EMAs. What is this stupid line? Let's get that off of there. We don't need that. All the EMAs are pretty much stacked right here. The short-term ones, that is. We got the 200 right above it, kind of acting like the top part of this trend line. Really got to break out of this. This is a bearish structure generally on a descending triangle. So this will be negated, though, if we start getting comfortably above 930. But something to watch because it looks a lot different than the bonds, like notes and bonds, ZB and ZN. You can see very different pattern. And it is triple leveraged. So, of course, it's going to be slightly different. TNX kind of just chilling on the lows. Of course, it's inverse of those, so whatever. Euro. Oh, Mr. Well, who wanted the Euro? We're at the Euro, EO Dusty, if you're still in here. Euro actually looks pretty good. I like the EMAs starting to really get aggressively sloped up. You don't have the 200 sloped up yet. It's actually super flat still. But you got the Mama pointing up. You got the shorter term 2155 pointing up. Looks pretty nice. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah, this is like a man. This actually does look pretty good. Not too shabby. Really needs to clear 110 though. There's mega resistance at 110. We get above 110, we probably hit like 115 or so on that one. Let's see. And sub, yeah, about 107, I'd say on the shorter time frames. If we start getting back below 107, I would definitely count that one out. And what's this fib ratio here? Interesting. We are at the 786, 886 zone, and that is generally where if the bears want to regain the momentum, they usually can let counter trend rallies go up into about that range and before they reignite themselves. So this is an interesting spot for stalling. Very important, that 110 area and the 107 area. Gold, look at gold, y'all. This is actually pretty awesome. I like gold doing this right here. Very nice. It kind of has this ascending triangle on it. I saw kind of over the weekend. We're getting close to that, 70-ish% zone, probably around here. And we're breaking out to the 2000s, man. If we can get this weekly open and close up here like this is going to look pretty damn sexy for gold bulls. And I really actually do like this chart above this like 1780-ish. I'm sorry, 1980-ish area. Above 1980, bulls on gold look very strong. And we are getting the momentum building too on oscillators. It looks really good. We're getting confluence between pretty much everything. Silver's the only thing that's hasn't quite done it. It's very close. The 2420 area is super, super important. I think even if we get two open and closed dailies above 2420, this thing probably runs. And what did we say last week? About to like 26, maybe 27 if bulls want to get really excited. But I think about 26-ish, give or take 50 cents, is probably the next target from there. And then we can just hopefully start building up there and maybe get a nice bull run on silver. When I first got into trading, I bought the high of silver over here way back in the day, because that's freaking 12 years ago. And I still have that silver. So I've been hodling a shitty silver position for 4,300 days, and I'm still down 40% on that trade. Oh, but that's such a good trade. Yay. Yeah, but whatever. That was the first time that I was like really putting money into stuff. So, it made money quickly, but then it quickly just has been a shit trade. And it was physical silver. So, I mean, I guess people say you just hodl that forever. My tone in tune is very different on that now because opportunity cost is a very real thing. And I don't think that there's any reason to hold stuff and bleed out for a decade because it's insurance at some point. Like, yeah, maybe it is, but I'd rather trade with trends now. So I know a lot of people say that, the gurus, you just buy gold. You just buy gold and you just put it in there, 5% of your portfolio. You just buy it. It doesn't matter when. It's like crypto. People are like, you just DCA and you just buy and hodl no matter what. And it's like, well, dude, what if you got into freaking Bitcoin late, like most people did, right? So it's like if you got into Bitcoin late, I mean, most people didn't buy it down here or down here or down here. They bought up here and up here. And so what, you DCA'd up here and like how long are you going to hold? Yeah, it could go up there, but nothing's guaranteed. I just kind of, if when momentum leaves the asset, and if let's say you're long it, maybe it's not the best idea just to keep holding it forever, And a weekly 21 EMA is pretty good for momentum shifting, like just on almost any tradable for general momentum. So back to precious metals, palladium and platinum. Platinum's looking pretty good. I like this structure. Lots of support. We've got super solidified support at that 950 area. We've been talking about that a lot for the last actually for the last probably month and a half or something. We are building the structure more and more above 950. And I think this is actually turning into a pretty damn good setup for some upside action on Platinum. Really needs to get a few daily open and closes above 1,000. It'll start to look real sexy. Let's see. What is this guy saying here? Skinning a cat could literally be a strategy. Yeah, it probably could. Skinning the cat, a dead cat bounce, maybe. This is true. This is true. You're very welcome, EO Dusty. 25% P&L so far. What, for the year? Or what are you talking about? I like it. Whatever. Good job, man. Get it in. The year just started, though. Hopefully you can keep that up and do 20+% for the entire year. That's like epic returns for traditionals. Palladium looking still fine above that 13, 80-ish area was that line in the sand. We actually did pretty good. We did get a good pump up to almost 1,500. Pretty nice. This looks pretty damn sexy above 14 hundos. I like it. This has been the best kind of looking base that we've seen in Palladium in quite a while, since October. So, this could be turning into a little saucer pattern basing formation. So do not sleep on this trade. There's not really good ways to trade Palladium, but there's a couple ETFs, but they're pretty illiquid. Probably some Palladium miners might be a way to go on that. Let's see. GDX. Let's go, dude. We're back above that 32. Look at that. We get up to 32. Little indecision. Couple open and closes above it. So why open and closes are super important to me, because that's how. Remember, we're all watching the same movie, so that's why if you want to do a couple open and closes above or below some range or targets, that gives you a little bit more confidence that that move is potentially good. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean that it's going to be good. You can see over here that it ended up just getting rejected, but it's better than just giving only one candle. One candle does not make or change a trend. Let's see, this weekly looks pretty good, getting back above the 200. Now, if we can just keep building this and get the shorter term moving averages above the 200 to get them in chronological order, this would start to look super sexy. And that'll still take a few weeks at this point at least, but looking pretty nice, man. We clear 33.50. I mean, that really does open the doors to maybe a gap fill over here at like 36 and change. Very nice for precious metals, pumping it up. Same pretty much here, except the number's slightly different. It's about $41. The gap is around $45. All right, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. We just finished that. Let's go look at our miner index for crypto. The struggle is real. Still needs to clear that 330 area. I would really like to see that 330 get cleared and coinciding with Bitcoin getting above 29K. We get both of those at the same time. I would be looking for some pretty decent moves in crypto land in general. Sorry, hit the mic there. But we're still just kind of lollygagging up here. No momentum really getting going yet. Coinbase, there's a lot of price action right now in Coinbase on the put side, on the options chain. So I don't know. There seems to be some bearish betting on Coinbase in a pretty large size too. So someone's getting a little bit bearish in the chain. I won't get bearish on this until it breaks $60. If it did start losing $60, maybe watch a lay. Let's see here. I think that's it. If anybody wants me to go look at a ticker, please pump that in the troll box now. Can I make a new trading view template and just put Bollinger Bands? I could do that, but I'm not going to. Is that how you like to just trade Bollinger Bands? And I see on your chart, it's just super simple. It's just like those linear regression candles, and it looks like just a simple moving average, 5. So There you go. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, dude. Let's see. All right, let me see anything. Let's go to sector majors. Yeah, kind of little mixed bag today. Metal's doing the best today, and obviously oil. Anything energy related is going to be kicking some arse. Let's look at KMI. A little pump action. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, but everything else is kind of selling off. Let's see what the banks are doing. Oof, banks getting rejected. Look at that. Last week couldn't even get back into this red target box from the structure that we were looking for. We went past it, but now we can't even get back up above 38. Oh my god, and we're at 3666 right now. Three sixes, the devil's number. It's going to zero. Oh shit. KRE, yeah, same thing. Even weaker, man. XLF is pretty bearish below 3252, and that's going to be like Russell. Russell. Really want to see Russell get bullish before we can just declare we're going into bull trend mode. And like we talked about last week on Monday, or I'm sorry, on Friday. Look at all these bodies, man. Like everything is right here around like 41, 30-ish, like low mid 4100 handle. And that's just real interesting to me. So this is like mega super resistance. Even though that 4080 area was a pretty important pivot point on the lower time frames, we got this monthly. This is no joke, man. And until we really got above like 4150 on ES, it could be very sneaky price action here and could very much be tricking people that this is buy all the dips, return to the norms, we're going to higher highs. This is the real test right here, probably this week. Will we be able to make a higher high in this structure? We got higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. This is their chance right here. Will they do it? Tune in next week. XRD, what is that? Oh yeah, XRD, Radix. Radix is probably just chilling. Yes, it is. Looks like most every crypto chart right now. It actually looks a little bit worse. Looks more like a BSV chart. Just getting worked by the 21. Man, what a sloppy chart, dude. This thing be pumping and dumping. You do have a lot of volume on this candle right here, on this doji candle, so that's good. And then you got a lot of volume on this big candle here. So I would say this actually looks pretty good above 4 cents. Below 4 cents, I would watch the hell out, and I would look for probably a test back down here on these lows. But above 4 pennies, man, it does look pretty good. Can't hate on that. And that's like on the lower time frames. On the weekly, it's still kind of meh. Nothing great. But on the lower time frames, intermediate time frames, above 4 pennies looks pretty good. Can't hate on that one. All right, I think that's it for today. I don't see any other tickers. I don't see Persifying talking some more smack. Hey, but that's fine. I welcome that. It's all good, dude. I appreciate the discourse. Even if we don't agree, that's okay. We need people that don't agree. We can't be like utopias don't exist. We don't want to be like all thinking the same thing. I was talking to my buddy about that the other day. He's like super Democrat or whatever, and I'm apolitical. The both of them are idiots to me, but it's like, dude, he's like, oh, this Republican, that, and I'm like, but I was like, yeah, but you got to have both sides. You can't have people just all believe whatever you think. Like, God, that sounds terrible. Are we all gonna wear gray clothes and think exactly the same thing? Like, what is this, China or something? No, I'm just joking. But yeah, utopias are fantasies, man. That ain't real. That ain't real, dog. All right, I think that's it, man. Let's go look at Reefer Madness. Let's see how shitty weed stocks look. Oh, look, real shitty. God, man. Literally been selling off since April 420 of 2021, and it's been death ever since. Literally. Are we going to get a 420 pump this month? I don't know. It doesn't look very good. Let's zoom in. Let's try to force bullish price action on here. Yeah, maybe on the 3 hour if it stays above 345. Maybe. I don't know. It's not great. What is Overstock doing? I've been trying to get filled on this mofo for freaking all last week, and the market maker did not want to fill me. Oh, yeah, maybe I'll try again. Because I do kind of like Overstock here above like 1850. I think this one has some decent potential. And look at this too with the vol flashes all up here, giving us a nice little pump signal. So it does look pretty good above 1850. And I've been trying to work, like I said, options call spread on this to play some upside, but just not being very nice. Man, all these freaking, jeez, dude, poor weed stocks. They look worse than shit coins, dude. Brutal, 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 brutal. Let's go look at Dash and some of these real quick. Oh, Dash. Wow, Dash actually looks really good above 59 bucks. What the hell? IPO, what's Tesla doing? Just kind of lollygagging. Scam Nicola's going to zero probably over time. I mean, it's a bona fide known scam. Yeah, the best one out of these kind of meme stock stuff is probably Dash on there. Wow, interesting. Actually, major support at 59 bucks on Dash. Very nice. All right, I think that's it. Let's see if OKB is still pumping here real quick because it was. Look at that. Nope, it was just pumping so hard for the last, since last summer. Very different price action than most everything else. Now it does have a descending triangle on here, though. Look at this. Lucky here. Except I can't draw. There we go. Oh man, look at that. And it's right almost filled up. Pretty interesting chart there. That would probably point us down to about the 200, so 30 bucks if we do start getting comfy below 40. Yeah, not looking too great. Yeah, exchange tokens got a lot of headwinds, man. The regulators in America are just really clamping down. Like Bittrex even shut up and is shutting down this month. So if you got money over there, get it off. It sucks. They've never had anyone hacked or lost money or nothing. And they're just like, we just don't want to deal with the regulators in America. It's really sad. It sucks. They've been around for a long time, like 10 years or something. OGs in the space. All right, wrap up. We're done. Bitcoin on the lower time frame starting to look a little bit distribution-y. Just a tad, just a tad. Really need to get up above that 29,000 level. This is the point where bears could take over if they wanted, just kind of like on ES and some of the majors. So this is kind of their spot. We'll see. We should probably get some good candle action this week, but right now it's just been neutral as F, dude, for, what, 2 weeks now? Yeah, coming up on like 3 weeks pretty much. So we're just kind of lollygagging. We need price to keep going up here before this kind of gets a little bit liquidation-y, which, wouldn't be the worst thing. Maybe it gives you an opportunity to re-up on some crypto here on the retest of the breakout zone. So might not be the worst scenario. All right, I think that's it. 28 or like 29K below 27, probably test and retest this previous resistance area. I mean, everything's kind of the same as the last videos, mid 17s and about that 1840 area is the range for Ethereum. I mean, they're pretty obvious at this point. There's enough candles kind of printed up to kind of see all that. Bulls should be able to make a higher high here if they do actually have some strength. If they do not, and it probably needs to be this week, definitely by next week, if they do not make a higher high on this structure, I would be very concerned that this is just a little bull trap. So keep an eye on that. And also Russell. Russell isn't out of its structure. It's actually made even to lower lows, and it's barely getting any momentum to even touch the 200 or this trend line here. So, definitely looking a lot worse than its counterparts. And on the weekly, it actually has technically taken out this as a higher low. So we don't even have that structure anymore. So lots of wouldn't say lots of, but definitely some technical damage made to Russell. And it looks like it's just in this still a giant consolidation box between about 2,000 and about 1,700. So, all right, guys, much love. I'll see y'all on Wednesday for the Hump Day stream. Hope y'all have an awesome, happy Monday, happy trading, all that good stuff. It's been Z Rex with No Noise signing off now. Peace.